not often I get to talk to somebody that eats the good fish and chips. I had I had fish and chips. We lived in England from 59 to 61 when I was a kid. Mom would
Nice.
send us out to the truck, like a food truck in America. Go out to
Hmm.
the food truck. They'd give you the fish and chips wrapped in newspaper. They'd always ask us if we wanted vinegar on the chips. We said no, no, we're going to have ketchup. They go, ketchup? What's that? Um, we introduced many American inventions to Buckinghamshire in 1960. Like they'd never seen hot dogs. They had sausages, but they'd never seen a hot dog. So our departure bonfire wiener roast for all those kids. We knew all the kids in the neighborhood that would, you know, I guess they got to brag about knowing Americans. I don't know. Anyway, we had a wiener roast, Swift, and this one kid, Paul, ate 5 hot dogs. I don't know if he was going for the, I don't know if he's going for the Guinness Book or why he ate so many, but he did. And well, Paul got sick and he irped.
That's,
I'll always remember that.
that's
You know,
interesting.
the curious thing that happened just now when you invited me, like down at the bottom of the comments thing, where you can submit an award or say hello from Walla Walla, right? That's where
Yeah.
the join broadcast button. I've never seen it down there before. I've always had to go up to that little bell and then the
Oh,
latest
something
activity was,
new.
yeah, so it must be a new feature. Oh, Frank's calling. Yep, that's my stepbrother Frank. He wants to talk to Darlene, so I won't answer it. Yeah, she's got it already.
Okay, that's
If
cool.
it goes over 3 rings, then that means she's indisposed for whatever reason, and then I talk to it, and he says, "Is sis there?" And I go, "Yeah, just a minute." And so I do my receptionist job, and
Nice. Nice, good. I'm glad to see you, and I'm happy that you took that invite and accepted it and joined in. I mean, you're always welcome to join in and have a chit chat, chill, relax, listen to some music that I make, and
so
laugh.
speaking of making music, how many years have you been jamming the keys?
Since
How many years ago did you say, "Hey, I should start composing"? I don't think I want to just do covers.
yeah, I didn't do covers to say that the least. I'm more started at when I went to college, and then that's when like school times actually,
Yeah,
about 18, and then from there progressed into college, and then that's when I said, okay, I want to do something with this music thing because now in college, I've got the qualifications of making music and mastering and stuff. So now I just want to do something with it, and then I just got my music
yeah.
on BBC Radio.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
I know BBC very well. I stream stuff from BBC like when Prime Minister he's on Sky News, so when he announces a new COVID thing or whatever, then
yeah.
I'll tune into that. BBC is a big thing.
So yeah, BBC was a big deal, and for me, especially being an independent artist, not signed to no record label, and getting my music with the A lists, the people that have
Right.
are labels and stuff, it
Yeah.
was it was an honor. It was amazing. And then I told my whole family when my father was alive, I was saying, "Look, Dad, Mom, Dad, check this out. I'm on actual radio, and I
Yeah.
can't believe this."
And
And
Dad was still sure you were going to be a plumber or whatever, right? This music thing is just a fad you're going through. You're going to grow out of that stage of your life. Yeah.
no, it wasn't that case. I think you wanted me to go into more like something else, like an accountant or something else.
Yeah, something that's a real job, not this fantasy. Like my
Yeah.
dad, he's passed away as well. The he referred to my computerness as, that stuff that guy does on the computer. He does stuff. Um, one of my favorite dad jokes is remember when Y2K came out in the year 2000? Everybody said, "Oh, you got to get a different computer and turn yours off and blah blah blah." So my wife's old Windows 95 computer, what my mother had been using. And we said, well, no, it's time to upgrade because Y2K. So you can get the old Windows 98 computer and we'll give you that one. Well, come to find out, after we'd done this swap, my father had been playing the solitaire card game on the computer. He called me up just furious. He says, I don't know what you did on this new computer, but I'm not winning at solitaire anymore. I never win. It's cheating. I go, yeah, Dad, you caught me. I put a facial recognition algorithm on the computer so it knows when you sit down to play solitaire to cheat. Oh my God. And it's just, why they made it more difficult, I don't know. I see in the comments Ivan is there. Now Ivan is a guy that lives in, tell us again where you live, Ivan, because I'm old and forgetful. He lives in Eastern Europe and he learned to speak English. Now think about this for a minute, Swift. He learned to speak English from watching television. Can you think of
Wow.
a program, even on the BBC? Think of a program that's on television that's going to teach you English. Like, where is the guy holding up a coffee cup and saying, "This is a coffee cup"? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I I don't get it. Serbia, yeah, there it is. I said
Amazing.
Bosnia. I said some other country name I was guessing, but when I'm 69, I'll be 70 in September, and one of the things that I'm affected with is memory loss.
Sorry.
But so far, I still remember Haps. Um,
Hmm.
Most recent forgetfulness was. Are you familiar with the TV service streaming Hulu?
No, that's
Oh, okay.
American,
It's
I
like
think.
it's like you've heard of Netflix.
Yes, I've heard of Netflix.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's like Netflix, a different flavor. Well, I couldn't remember the name Hulu. I was typing Humana. I went, no, that's my life insurance. That ain't it. So I finally looked in the history and said, oh yeah, there it is.
Hulu, I've heard of the name, but I just don't use. I've never.
It's
I can't use it because it's just restricted to region only, like
yeah,
America and stuff. So
right.
yeah, I
Well,
know
you
it's
could
in.
get. I think you can get a VPN connection, and you
Okay.
can watch anything in the states. I mean, I have a friend that lives in Edinburgh, Scotland. That's how he does it. He likes to watch American cop shows. I call them, and so
Cool.
he gets his VPN fired up, and then he can log into various different American broadcasting, kind of like BBC in England. Well, they have the ABC and NBC and CBS here, and so he can hook up and watch those shows. Oh, and Dean's in Portland. Is that Portland, Oregon, or Portland, Maine? Aha.
I think it's Oregon, maybe. I'm
Oh,
not sure.
okay.
Welcome back, Anne.
Thank you. I got kicked out of Haps.
Uh oh.
But I'm here.
Connections. Yeah.
Have you been putting up commercials for some other streaming service or something?
No.
Well, I don't know why you got on the list, Ann.
Well, I've been kicked out before. It's not the first time.
I
So,
see.
so
Are
I don't
you
know
having
what happens.
I know you're having a bad hair day, I think, because I see your camera's not pointed at your face. So
That's
that
true.
that's
You're absolutely right, guy. You're absolutely right.
it's one of those I can be on their voice and I'll just point the camera at the desk. That'll work. I've seen people that they're not even on camera and I can hear their voice. I'm not sure how they do that. They mute their camera and then leave the mic on. You know, like down at the bottom where that little
What
white
they do,
bar.
what they do is they put something over the camera to like a cloth or something, and then maybe use a rubber band to
Oh,
hold it in place, and then they can just go live like that.
I, I'm more modern than that. I've got an aluminum device that I put over the camera.
Oh, cool. Nice.
It's watch. I'll show you. See how good
That's
that works? And
that's a
it gives a nice blue tint, and then I just easy as cake pick it up. And because it's aluminum, it doesn't weigh nothing. Um,
excellent.
I got a thing. I can't remember who it was gave them away, but this little slide button thingy to put on your laptop computer. So I put it on the Chromebook, and the adhesive that held it in place fell off. So now I just have a big piece of Scotch tape and a piece of paper, and poof, there it is.
That's cool. So I
I'm
wanted
just
to
gonna
ask.
drop down again because both of your videos are glitchy for me. It's coming and going.
Well, on my side, it's clear. I mean, he's everything's connection wise is all good. So, um, I focus on the small tabs of the screen, not the actual live main screen of it, because I was watching my previous broadcast, and when I was doing it live, it was like moving like really weirdly, but it wasn't smooth. So then when I watched it replay, it was smooth. So I'm now watching my screen on the small thing where it says your name in the small boxes. Watch that.
Right?
If that's going out of like stopping and starting, then you know that the live will be affected. That's how I work it
Yeah.
out.
It has to do with your maximum transmittable unit.
Yeah.
The My youngest son, his money is buying 400 meg download speed, big, huge download speed. So he ran the speed test on his phone. He's getting 54. He was quite excited. I said, I'll send you a screenshot of my speed test. And it was like, I'm paying for 100 and I get 114. It's a little bit extra. And I said,
Right.
that's what you want to be. And he said, what's that? I said, older and wiser. So I sent him a video. There's a way you can do it. You can figure out the MTU by pinging the router. You would ping like BBC. You say, how fast is my connection to BBC? And it's going to come back and you say, well, you're getting this ping rate. It's like how many milliseconds. What does that calculate out to? You're transmitting at 180 kilobits, right? For the sake of a number. Well, that MTU unit will come up on your diagnostic with your terminal, and it'll be like 1492 or whatever. Well, whatever that number is, you add 28, and I don't know why it's 28, but that's the number in America. Add 28 to it, and that's as fast as you can go. And Swift, think of it this way: when you
Yeah.
go to the grocer and they bring the groceries out to your car, I'm assuming you have curbside service. Okay, and
Mhm.
they bring you that big sack of groceries, and it's got 15 cans of stuff in it. When you get home, you grab that big bag and carry it into the house all at once, because that's the maximum you can move at one time, right? You
Yeah.
don't take
Right.
out one can at a time and make 15 trips to the car,
No.
because the neighbors will say you're loony, and it takes you longer to make the cans get to your house. Well, that's what MTU does. The biggest amount of cans of stuff, of data, the bits of data that you can move from point A to point B, that has to do with your picture on your screen being jiggity, with your voice breaking up, not having connection, with Anne's difficulty with connecting. She's got too slow of a connection to support the adventure.
Yep, I agree, and I did say to Anne that it's also to do with the connectivity of how far her connection can reach as well, her router,
Right.
because it can't travel
Well,
major distance.
one of the distance issues can be easily solved if you're using 2K or 5K on your router. If you've tried to connect with 5K on your router, because everybody says, oh, you want to do 5K because it's so fast. Well, that's going to work great if your router's sitting within arm's reach. But if you've got to go through a floor of the building and two walls to get to you, not so much. 5K is going to fade. It's going to be like Anne's having with problems with the connectivity. It's
That's
going
why
to,
she's getting the Wi-Fi repeater to do it that way, or the other way is power line, which is going through your electricity to
Right,
connect to
right.
my computer like that.
Back
That's
back
how I do it.
before you were born in 1957, my grandfather, because it was my birthday, said, "You can call the radio station, request any song you want." And I'm
Whoa.
thinking, 6 years old, wow. Getting to talk on the phone was a big deal at 6, right? So I'm
Yeah.
talking to the guy, and he says, "Well, what song do you want to play?" Well, of course, it's your birthday. You want to have happy birthday. We don't have that record. Um, so what record do you have? He says, "Well, name a song you've heard on the car radio. We've probably got that record." So the only song at age 6 that I knew the name of was from Tennessee Ernie Ford, 16 Tons. So you'll have to Google that, look it up on YouTube. I'm sure it's on there. And
I don't know
16,
why she's getting.
what? Go ahead.
So I do apologize, but I'm just trying
Oh,
to address the comments as well. Anne, I didn't kick you out. It's to do with a bug with the connection and to do with Haps as well. They have obviously some bugs that they need to address, which they don't know about. Like I've got this one bug where I'm in the broadcast, and all of a sudden, abruptly, it kicks me out of my own broadcast, goes to that main screen where I have to choose my video and mic setting, and then it
yeah,
automatically brings me back into where I've left off. And then everyone says, "Oh, you didn't leave the room," when I did. So
yeah.
I'm not sure why that is. I've invited you anyway, Anne. So, darling, please join when you can. You know, that's great. And yeah, this is
Because
what I like about.
on my desktop computer, it says Ann has been dropped.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I know. The only reason I know Ann is here is on the left hand side, I can see her comments.
I will be in trouble with an okay, darling.
But does Ann know where you live? Does she have your street address? You're not in such trouble then.
um, I know her address. She knows my address.
Oh,
Yes.
okay. You're in big trouble then. If she knows where you, Swift, if she knows where you sleep, that could be bad.
No,
Could be
she's
bad.
fine. It's not that bad. She's fine. She's a wonderful human being, and it's
Okay.
amazing. But yeah, it's good. What I was saying is, please, speaking of Anne, please make sure you follow Anne for all the best in cooking, baking, and nature scope broadcasts. I'm so used to saying scopes, but nature broadcasts. She's very, very amazing.
Oh, does she go for walks and say, well, this is, she's not the one that does the beach in South England.
No, she lives in
Oh,
Denmark, but she goes to
oh,
a
in
lot of
Denmark. No, I don't think I know. And then let me, I'm going to click on her
Guy.
profile.
I recommend highly you
No,
should follow her and check her
I am.
her stuff,
I'm
her content.
subscribing
It's
right
amazing.
now as we speak.
Yeah, because
I've,
I like those nature walks that she
oh
does.
yeah, absolutely. Nothing like getting outside, especially when you're on lockdown. Because here in the States, I can't walk down the street and show you the scenery because I'm supposed to stay home.
Say that one more time because the connection abruptly stopped by itself, and I don't know what's
Okay.
happening here.
What I was saying is I can't do a walkabout, with my phone to show you, going down the street. It's not allowed. We're supposed to stay home, because of this blasted COVID thing.
hmm Yep. This COVID thing is gonna go though with the vaccine, and I'm sorry if I'm in like
Oh yeah.
speaking on top of you. I don't mean to be I'm not being rude. It's just a delay with the feedback and delay with the comments as well.
No, I went the other day. I was the first person in line at the new mass vaccination thing they had, and I got the vaccination was Moderna, which is like a flavor, one of the manufacturers. And so now I'm concerned with on the 22nd of February when it's supposed to go get the second shot, will they have that flavor of vaccine or are they going to have Pfizer, which means it's going to do no good for me? because I've asked some nurses. All my daughter's generation in my family, all of the girls are nurses. So whenever I need to know something medical, I've got a number of people I can contact. And they said, no,
Excellent.
you've got to get the same flavor. You know, like how
Yeah,
many in your generation, Swift, how many people are musicians?
quite a few, quite a lot, I'd say.
Right. So if you want to find out, well, what's the return for this chord progression? Where do I come back to it? You've got people you can play it to and they'll hear it and they'll say, oh, it needs to be blah, 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 whatever.
Yeah, I agree. I get what you mean. And the other thing I wanted to ask you is that since you say you had it, right? The vaccine,
Right. The first shot. Yes.
the first shot, yeah. Even the first shot or whatever, vaccine, it has side effects. So did you experience any side effects like a mild
No,
headache and
I
all of
didn't
that
have
stuff?
any of that stuff. The only thing I had was a sore arm, no different than a sore from getting a vaccine for tetanus or flu shot. You know, where it's just it's stiff. It's got a little knot in it for a couple of days, then it's
Yeah.
gone. Like I'm going like this right now, rubbing my shoulder. Nothing.
Okay,
No,
because
no
they
pain.
said that there is side effects to these vaccines. You'll
Right.
have experience like muscle pain and
Yeah.
headache because that's
None.
the side effect
I
of
had.
it
I'm
working.
lucky. I had none of that. None of that.
Not all will experience the side effects. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Right.
Everyone's body is
I,
different as
I
well.
think it's alphabetical, and if your last name starts with a C or a B or an A, you don't have side effects. But don't.
That's true. Could be.
Well, I'm proof.
Yep, you're living proof, and that's how it is. And how's your experience on Haps in terms of like the overall
Well,
community and everything?
it's it's a thing to do on Saturday because during the week I'm too busy. Somebody asked me the other day, "Are you going to do that Haps challenge thing going around to get $50?" I don't
Yeah.
have time in the day to do it. I I just my dance card's too full. To sit down for like however long you have to sit down and do. I can't imagine. It can't be a
Mm.
10-minute gig. It's going to be like an hour. Just like podcasting. I don't do a podcast more than about 2 or 3 minutes. I just go, well, like the one I just recorded today for Monday. It's going to be about calls to action. If your webpage says sign up for my newsletter, that's all you got to do. And then you do A/B testing. Do you want to put this sign up at the top, at the bottom, above the fold, below the fold? Does it need to be blue or does it need to be orange? And then once you get that all nailed down, and you find out it needs to be this color, it needs to be I'm above the fold. You know what that term means? So when you
Above.
first,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's considered anything that shows up on the screen at the top. Before you do any scrolling, that's called the above the fold area of the page. Just
Right.
like a newspaper. When you get your Sunday paper and it's folded in half,
Yeah.
and the top headlines are on the front. That's the same mentality, same effort.
Okay. Nice. Make your Sunday happy. Hi.
Like
Hap challenge.
Saturday, your Hap Challenge Day. There you go, Ann, being a quarterback in the huddle again. That's speaking of football. Now if I say the word football to you, you think a whole different game than I think, right? So in
we
19,
I use football in terms of soccer. You guys use
yeah,
soccer as football, or
right,
something
right.
the way around.
So in 1961, when I came back to America, I played what you call football like God compared to any other fifth grader at the school. I just was incredibly good. The only problem was in 1961, soccer wasn't invented. There were no soccer balls in the playground equipment,
No
so
way.
I'd have to swipe one of the kick balls. They had the ball that you could kick, and a little bit bigger around than a soccer ball, about like a basketball, if you know what that size is. And
Mhm.
and we'd play soccer with that. And if I was really lucky, I could get two guys on each team, me and one guy to be the goalie, and then the other two guys from the other team. We'd throw our coats on the ground to be the goalpost, and that's as glorious as soccer could be in those days. And so once I got older, and people knew I played in England. They said, "Well, what about rugby?" Oh no, rugby was not allowed. The reason was my mother saw a rugby match and the guys had blood streaming down their shins and nope, you guys ain't playing rugby. Forget about it. That's like football with no pads. Right?
Forget
It's not,
about it. Forget about it.
yeah, yeah. It's not gonna happen. You do a pretty good
As-
forget about it for being in the UK. You better you
Thank
better
you.
look out. They're gonna think you're an immigrant.
I do all types of accents,
Oh yeah?
just for fun. Not to disrespect any culture or society. It's just it's a habit.
Well
Like I like
it's
the field I'm in,
well,
composing and
I'm
producing.
lucky. Speaking of accents, when I lived in England, my mother would listen for our voices at the back window. She told us this once. Because you guys turn your accent on and off dependent on who you're talking to. If you're talking to the kids in the neighborhood, the British kids, hey, let's have a game of soccer, eh? Right? We'd walk around to the back door to talk to mom and say, "Hi, mom, what's going on?" And just like that, just like flipping a light switch, we would
It
switch from one accent to the other.
transition straight away
Yeah,
smoothly
yeah. It's
across
like
one thing to
I
another.
always recognized it. Swift, I think it's when in Rome, do as the Romans do. That was I think they understood us better. If we talked what I consider to be talked American to us, well, they didn't have a clue what we were saying. Even though in our mind, we were speaking English, we weren't speaking proper English. So they would kind of
But
struggle with some of the words.
But sorry to interrupt you, but I also think that some Americans, would think because of self pride and how proud they are for their country and nation, they have like the American flags outside their house or whatever. They seem to come across like when they're speaking to other nations and like someone who's British or something or English, they'll be like, "Your English is really, really poor. Our English is
Oh,
the best.
yeah,
We
yeah,
know what we're
yeah.
saying, so you can't tell us what we've done. We given you so much help and stuff. We're a bigger country and this and that."
Right, right,
And
right.
then they just rub it in like that, and
Yeah.
yeah.
When you're 10 years old, you don't do that so much. In fact, I got beat up once for being an American. No other reason. Just like,
Well,
these people talk about prejudice and segregation and all that nonsense. Well,
yeah.
I can top that. I was a white kid getting thumped by these bigger, we'll call them bullies, okay, for the sake of
Mhm.
commonality. And the only reason I got whooped was because I was an American. If I'd have been a British guy, they would have known my family. It would have been the right thing to do. But because I was a dirty, rotten American, well, let's beat him up. Yeah, that's how that
That's
rolls. That's where,
I'm
in
sorry
fact,
that.
now here's a good English story. I love talking to English people. Raleigh bicycle was the first bicycle I learned to ride. When I lived in UK, I had a little 20-inch wheeled Raleigh bicycle. It was two speeds and had
Bye.
metal. Yeah, I had metal linkage for the brake cables. How like now modern they have cables to go to the
Cable
clamp on
ones.
brakes. Yeah. Well, these were metal linkage, if you can imagine that. And they still worked. Well, eons and decades go by. I'm about, let's see, how old would I have been? 67. And
Wow.
as a result of a power outage, I had to go to a thrift store downtown, and they had a Raleigh M80 bicycle for $20. I said, "What's wrong with it?" "Well, it's got a flat tire and there's messed up shifters." I said, okay, it's mine. So now I have a rolly bike again, just a few years later.
That is that is so different how time changes and progresses, and how the
Oh
bikes
yeah.
change now, and how the designs are and stuff like now. Even like car wise, like now, before it used to be
Oh yeah.
petrol and this and that, manual, like you using the manual gears and stuff. Now it's automatic. Then it changes now to electric. Now it's hybrid. Things like
Yeah.
that. It's amazing.
My youngest son has got a Volkswagen. It's not a van. It's like a pickup. Okay, just with the cab and then the flatbed in the back, made by Volkswagen, and he's converting it over to a Tesla. It's going to be an
Mhm.
all electric Tesla power system on the Volkswagen body. It'll be the only one in town, probably in North America,
That's
maybe the
cool.
world. Who knows?
Good luck to that. In the
Yeah.
worldwide thing. That's what it is. It's about those global things.
Now, have you been in one of those electric cars that drives itself yet?
No, no, I
Oh,
haven't.
that'll stir your porridge. Be going down the road, right? And the guy driving the car says, "Watch this," and takes his hand off the wheel, and the car, because it's too close to the pickup next to you, it moves
Yeah,
over all by itself, but stays in the lane. And I said,
that is crazy.
I said, yeah, but what does it do on a curve? I said, oh, it'll follow a curve. So he went around a curve. I said,
No way.
okay,
It's the senses.
I'm convinced this is cool. You really like it, but don't do it to me anymore. I got weak kidneys. I will urinate all over your car seat if you do it anymore because it's scaring the heck out of me. So,
Hello, Burkhan. I don't know how you say that name. Hello, anyway.
Vicarage.
Vicarage. Hello, Vicarage.
And she probably goes by Mrs. Vic for short. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, hello, Mrs. Vicarage. Welcome.
Now, do you do commercial music beds?
Um, yes, I have done music for TV and advertisements, and for
Ah,
short
cool.
films, YouTubes, TikToks, everything. Yeah.
Oh, we can't
Video.
call it. I'm looking in the comments. We've just been corrected. Her name is Paula. We can't call her Mrs. Vic anymore.
Okay, sorry, Paula. I didn't mean that.
Yeah,
It just says it
it
in the
don't.
thing.
It worked for 2 minutes.
And I'm self-taught, by the way, on the piano. I don't read like musical notes. I just train my ear to figure out the
This
highs,
sounds
the
right to do
lows.
this. Well, if the TV stations are buying it, they're probably not worried about if you're a formally trained piano teach. You know, if you took lessons or not. They're getting the sound they like. That's going to work.
When it comes down to like when I'm making music and stuff, I don't have a like preset that says, okay, I'm gonna make this kind of music today. I kind of go with the flow, like how the weather is unpredictable. You don't know whether it's going to be nice or whether, because it keeps changing each time and adapting. So
So
I kind of adapt.
I can't say, well, I need a polka for this Oktoberfest festival. You'd have to listen to a polka and go, oh, that's what it sounds like. Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, I can do that way as well. Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
listen to the music and then do it. If I've heard it, if I've
So if I
been
hand you a sheet of music is going to be, you might as well be blank because it's not going to work.
with a sheet of music, that's the thing. Because I'm tech savvy, I would be basically grabbing, scanning the whole musical notes and
Yeah,
digitize it into the computer. So then the computer
right.
can read the file in a MIDI format, and then I'll know what I'm playing, what
And
I'm
you'll
hearing.
hear it. You'll hear it once and then you'll know. Okay,
Then I'll know,
that
and
makes
then I can.
excellent.
And this keyboard is a digital keyboard. It's connected to the computer, So all
Right.
my computer, I have like a hard drive full of thousands of sounds, not digitally, but even real life, like famous studios, which they have recorded the actual texture of a sound individually and making it.
Okay.
Sorry if it's a bit boring. I'm sorry, guys,
No, not at all.
but I
Oh,
really love music.
you're supposed to tell Paula what your name is on TikTok.
Oh, okay. I'll just write that down.
What I
Give me
guess
a
there's
second.
I don't do TikTok, but there's usernames. So
I'm also a beta tester for TikTok as well, so I test for bugs and things like that. So I'm helping them as well
oh,
with that.
that's a chore.
Yeah, it's fun actually. You get like merch and stuff and cool things. So if you look up
Yeah.
that, you'll find it. Swift underscore. It's the underscore's not showing, but it's Swift underscore beats
Oh,
one.
it does in the chat for here.
So melodies wise, I know when I'm playing a wrong note. You'll see. Like I'm gonna purposely play a wrong note.
Okay. Right.
See, it doesn't sound right. Whereas if I play it like
Yeah.
it sounds organized instead of
Yeah.
having it.
Yeah.
See, that was wrong. That see, it's not sounding right. If I wanted to make a scary soundtrack for a scary theme video game or for a short film that they wanted to make a Halloween special, then I'd go like
Yeah.
purposely playing kind of notes like
The Halloween sound. Gotcha. Anne's gonna go get dinner and be back.
yeah, that's fine. Cool.
Oh, you got to fix your TikTok says you're private.
Yep, I'm private. It's because with my account being private, it's because of the beta tester and stuff. So they
Oh, okay.
want us to do certain tasks that are privately shown so that they can see it on the profile. But it's a public profile as well, so you can definitely I'll follow back and see your content and see what you're about and stuff. Hello, Heavenly. Jew. Welcome to my broadcast.
No, now let's hear your Texas accent because she's from Dallas. You're gonna, remember the old thing I said a minute ago, Swiss, about when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So you're gonna have to
Yeah.
speak the. Now the one thing about Texas speech is you don't move your top lip. Your top lip is perfectly still, just like this here. You see what I'm saying? You don't move the top lip, and then you can talk Texan.
I'm gonna have to
So
practice that, but yeah,
okay,
I do it
well
like
that's
this. What are you talking about?
yeah,
I'm the sheriff right now. The sheriff is right now. You know,
yeah. That's close.
it's
Just
close,
just
but
focus on not moving your top lip. That's the. Somebody told me that just like okay, I'll give you an English one. This is what I heard years ago.
go on.
You know how different shires have their accents, right?
Yeah,
Liverpool don't say H. If they're saying the word house, they're going to say, "Oh, bring it over to the house," and no H is used. Think about it, and
bring it,
there's
bring it over to the house. Yeah, they
no,
don't put the house in there. You'll
they don't
say
put the H in there. They'll say
yeah.
house,
It's the
OUSE.
same with Americans. When UK we say water, you guys say
Yeah,
water.
yep. We when we moved to England, we got the cuss word speech, but then we also got the speech of, it's really not good to say somebody has uh, blood coming out of their nose. You don't say, you say bleeding nose. I went,
Yeah,
why? Well, because the other one's a cuss word, so that's the only one we would say. Which, once we learned all the British cuss words, that's all we used. We were brat kids. The the real transgression we ever did bad in England is we played American baseball on the cricket pitch. Every village, no matter how small, has got a farm field with electric fence around it, and they planted it just like a golf putting green, and that's the cricket pitch, right? And you don't mess with that. Well, we're out there playing baseball on that, and that was just not acceptable. They told our parents, and that that was sort of a fart in church. Not good.
So, what kind of melodies do you say, like musical instruments, do you like hearing the sound of? What is it? Guitars? What?
I know how to play barely an acoustic guitar. I like that sound. And I like harmonica. Blues harmonica, I was the first paid to play. I made $5. Whoopee.
Wow.
Back in the 70s, played a blues harmonica at a local pub. We played live music back in those days. And it was a group we were in college, and they hired us because they needed to have a band, and the regular band didn't show up. They said, well, let's get the entertainers from the community college. So there was 11 of us in this group, and I was the harmonica player. So that's the two that I got probably doing the most.
I've got like acoustic guitar sounds and electric guitar sounds on my plugin that I use. Is called Native Instrument Contact. And
so they're synthesized.
Well, some of them is actually recorded like live.
Okay.
You'll see from the texture of the sound, like from the fret noises.
Yeah. Wow,
See
you
that
could.
noise? And then if I play
play
like
guitar with that.
see.
Now, has that ever happened when you've made a song, you made a music bed for an advertisement or whatever, and they say, "Well, we really like that melody, but it needs a guitar. Can you add a guitar to the melody you put in?" So you just go back to there and re-record it. That's cool. You're being asked in chat how you're doing, so you have to do that for a moment. So this Heavenly Dew is asking, "How are you doing?"
No, I'm saying it to Heavenly Dew. How are you doing? I'm responding to her.
Yeah, you are.
I'm trying to multitask, and interact with the comments as well, because you don't want them feeling like we're ignoring them as well.
Sure.
So it's just helping that as well. And I'm trying to get them interested if they want to. They're happy. If you want to join the broadcast, you are welcome. Also, when it comes down to if someone like the advertisers saying that they like the theme tune, but they want me to add a guitar with it being digital, not just manually recorded, I can pull up the file, and it will have all the files as it is, and all I have to do is add the instrument and just press
just like adding a layer to an image. Yeah, I got you.
And just record that in, and then it's added onto that file, and you print that.
I'm imagining this library you've got of all these recordings. Do you have drums?
Yes, I have all types of sounds, from world instruments to drums. Give me a moment. Really depends on what I want. I've got bass, I've got ethnic instruments, got every type. Wait, hold on. So I've got acoustic drums.
Yeah.
If you're interested in the acoustic side of things, wait, tuned. Let's see if it's this one. Play.
Well, Ringo won't have to worry about you.
Yeah, they don't have to worry. The neighbors don't need to worry about the loud noises, the banging.
Right, right. My neighbor across the street, he has a drum set when he moved in the house. And so I built what they call a tough shed. It's a little 10-foot by 10-foot outbuilding. And
Mhm.
his wife, Mary, came over and looked at it and says, "This is what Bob needs for his drum kit." I said, "Well, that soundproofing, because the sound will go right through those walls. It's not built for a drum set."
Yep.
But he just does it. I don't think he's in a band or anything. I think he just likes it. Or maybe when he was younger, he was in a band and just never gave it up. I don't know.
And then I have like sounds like from world kind of sounds. Like this is from Australia. This is called a didgeridoo.
That's the word I was trying to think of.
So like those kind of sounds.
Yeah, I was trying
I'm
to
more
think.
yeah. Go.
No, didgeridoo. That's what I was going to ask you if you had that sound, but I couldn't think of the name.
And then my favorites are the orchestral and those kind of vibes sounds. Thank you, thank
See,
you, thank you.
that's British. If you do, that's almost like applause. Yeah.
Trust me.
Now,
I don't do
so
many.
you lay down, you put together that layer of stringed instruments,
Mhm.
and they say, "Well, can you add the brass? Can you add the kettle drums in the back?" I'm thinking back to when I was in high school, and the Seattle Symphony Orchestra did a presentation, to show kids how cool it sounded to be in a big orchestra, and I was wowed
Mhm.
by that. That was one of those wow moments you get in school. Yeah.
Being a
So,
producer and a composer,
yeah.
it's mainly the producer and the composer who has the big control over how he wants the
Now,
art to
can
be.
you
Like an artist and a painter, he will be utilizing.
the music that you played just now, can you have
Mhm.
software that will convert that into notes on a piece of paper so you could hand it to a band and say, "I want you to play this song"?
Yes, yes,
Ah, very good.
and you know anything.
Right.
Oh, like I'll give you an example here. Wait, let me just turn this up. So literally, where is it? Style. There we are. So that was that's all
Yeah.
the instruments on this plugin, and see how realistic it sounds. It sounds
Yeah.
really like a real orchestral band.
Yep.
You know.
Yep. Like a movie introduction. Yep.
So this is what this beauty of this um, software can do. So all of that stuff. I love this program.
Yeah.
Any sound that I've always wanted to dream of making in terms of orchestral stuff. See how that.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. There's a little bit of a lag between when your fingers hit the keyboard and when the drum actually plays. So I'm going, wow, it's like ESP. They've got a program that can assume the next note is going to be, like if you're pushing B on the keyboard, it's going to D is the next one or whatever. That's funny.
Yeah. Hello, Lucia. Welcome, the Haps team.
Now, Haps team, that means she works for Haps?
Yep.
Ah, okay.
Yep. She does.
I've seen that
How
handle
are you?
before.
Oh, you've seen it, yeah?
Yes.
Excellent. How are you doing, Lucia? Let me just choose my harp sound. I like my harp sounds and violins and orchestral kind of things. So normally what I do is I just warm up my fingers before, going into something. So this is like a tune.
Yeah, I'd keep that one. Absolutely.
It uplifts you.
Well, Lucia, when you said hi to Lucia, I looked up in the top right corner on my desktop computer. I've been here for
Mhm.
an hour. So it's time for me to say adios. Because
Adios. Thank you. God
my
bless
wife's
you.
going to say, "Who are you talking to?" I said, "Oh, it's some guy. I don't know his name." For an
Take
hour, you
care.
talk to a stranger. I said, "Well, yeah, okay."
It
This
was
has
nice
been
talking.
an increased awareness. You know how they say you learn something every day? I learned probably 2 or 3 things today, maybe
Well done.
more. Take care.
You take care. God bless you. Thank you for
You too.
taking
Bye
your
bye.
time. Bye. So no one wants to join. Interesting. I'm all the tune. Okay, let's get some vibes going right now. So let me just tune into my vibes right now. Thank you for the super heart, Lucia. I appreciate you. Tell me who's in the build, well, in this broadcast right now. Good thing. Let me take that out. Hmm. Hmm. Hello.